Dear students, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to explain about the pointer in C. What is pointer in C? How to declare the pointer? What is the syntax of the pointer? As well as how to initialize the pointer. That I am going to explain here. Later I will explain all this remaining part of the pointer because this is very much important. So because of that reason I have taken this pointer topic in for this video because this is also important for the placement for any competitive exam. If they mention that computer science, so maximum question is come from the pointer. Even if you are going for the placement, for placement most of the companies conducting 3-4 round. In that first round will be the technical round, and in that round maximum question come from the pointer only, because they will give you the set of the code and they will ask you to trace it and that provide the output, and that too is completely based on the pointer. Maximum question, if they will ask you 5 question 4 question from the pointer only. So this is very much important topic for the placement also, for any competitive exam like gate exam, like NEET exam, or like other technical competitive exam. So there also its question come from the pointer. So now we'll see that what is the pointer. What is the pointer? Pointer in the C are used to store the address of a variable. Pointer is used to store the address of a variable. So if I am going to take that example of the real life example, so variable is nothing but a person. Variable is nothing but a person. So suppose this is the RAM. Suppose this is Ram, and their address means Ram is staying somewhere. Ram is staying somewhere means their home address. Their home address. So that will be the address, and this RAM is stored in a normal variable. RAM is stored in a normal variable, and their address is going to stored by pointer. The address is going to store by pointer only, because you cannot store the address in the normal variable. So this is the example of the real life. If I'm going to talk about the computer field, about the variable and address, so address is nothing but a memory location, means a space there you are storing the variable. That is the address of a variable in the computer field. A space where variable is stored, that's called address. And the variable is that normal variable, like RAM is also one variable, A is also variable, B is also variable. So these are the normal variable, and that variable is stored somewhere in some space it's taking. And some space it's taking, it means that this variable is stored in the memory, and that memory location is called address, and that is stored in where? In pointer. That is stored in the pointer. So pointer main aim is to store the address of a variable. Now we'll see that the syntax of the normal variable, as well as the syntax of the, this is the pointer, this is pointers, not normal variable. So we'll see that how to declare the normal variable and how to declare the pointer. That we'll see that first you have to select the data type. First you have to select the data type. There are some data types already defined in the C language, that is inbuilt in the C language, like integer, float, character, double, all these are the data types. So first you have to give the data type, what type of pointer you want to declare, and then you give that variable name. So this is the normal variable declaration syntax. And if you are declare the pointer variable, there is a small difference, is that star. This star will tell you that this variable is the pointer variable and this variable is the normal variable. Using the, you can simply say that a variable is the pointer variable on the basis of the this star value. Right, now we'll see that the declaration. You see that this was the syntax. Now we'll see that the original declaration with the data type. So here I have declared the normal variable. I have taken the integer data type and variable is a. Whenever you are declaring the variable, immediately this variable is allocating the space. Immediately whenever I say that int a, they will going to allocate the space in the memory. If I say that in real life example, Ram is the person. When they purchase the land, when they purchase the land, immediately they will get the one land. If they are purchasing the land, it means that they are getting that land, right? They haven't yet built any building. They haven't yet, they just purchased. They just purchased. So that's that space is, this is the space. And whenever you are writing int a, it means that Ram just purchased the land. They not yet created any building, not yet created anything there. Just simply they have purchased the land. So here if you declare the int a, it means that immediately they are going to allocate the space in the memory. And what will be the size? What will be the size? It's depend on the data type. And data type is integer. So integer data type size is that if it is your microprocessor is 64 bit, if it is 64 bit microprocessor, it will going to allocate 4 byte. If it is your microprocessor is 64 bit, then it will going to allocate 4 byte. If it is your microprocessor is 32 bit, it will going to allocate 2 byte. So it's depend on the this data type size is completely based on the microprocessor. So integer int a you are writing, it means that 4 byte space is going to allocate in the memory, right? So simply this is allocated. They haven't assigned any value yet. It's just a declaration. So when they will going to write int a, this space is going to allocate in the memory, right? And this ncr I have written here, I have written ncr. This always be in computer field. If you say that the address is always be decimal value, sorry, hexadecimal value, always hexadecimal value. For the understanding point of view, I have taken that some address name like ncr. So I am saying that this a is going to store the place is that ncr, address is the ncr. I haven't given any value yet. So just a box I have created, means a space I have created, means you can say that the land is land they just purchased, and that land address is that NCR. They purchased the land in the NCR. Right? Similar like that, if float variable you are declaring, so float also going to allocate the space in the memory, and this is the address, means the float b is purchase the land in the old Delhi. Character C, that's also going to allocate according to the size, how size is decided, that's depend on the data type. So double also purchase the land, and their address is Vijayawada, right? Now we'll see the pointer declaration. We'll see the pointer declaration. So you have just now see that how to declare the pointer. That syntax I have explained. You have to use what you have to use. You have to use the star, that's asterisk. You can also say that asterisk. So here I am going to declare a pointer of integer. Here I have declared integer pointer. I have written int star p, it means that this is the integer pointer. I have written here float star ptr. Same condition also, if you are writing the star p, if you are declaring the pointer variable, they also immediate, they will going to allocate some space, that will also going to allocate some space, and there also address, because pointer is also one type of variable, but that is a special type of variable. And why we were saying that a special type of the variable, because pointer is the single variable that is storing the address. The remaining variable is storing the value, but pointer is the single variable that's storing the address, right? And so similar like here, and that address is also stored somewhere, address is also going to store somewhere na? So for that reason it's also allocating the memory, the pointer is also allocating the memory, right? So again I have created here float pointer. So float is also allocated the memory, character pointer it's also allocated the memory, and double is also allocated. So what we learned here, the syntax of the declaration, and declaration of the normal variable, and declaration of the pointer variable. And while declaring, what it is doing, it's allocating the space in the memory. It's allocating the space in the memory, either the normal variable or either the pointer variable. Now we'll see here what is that. While declaring the pointer, there are four way you can declare. One is that you give that int space and then a star ptr. This is also same. Either if you want to give that space, you can give a space, it's also fine. If you don't want to give a space and write the star and ptr, that's also fine. If you want to give a space between int as well as ptr also, if you give that a space, that's also fine. If you don't want to give the space, that's also fine. All these declaration is same. Either you are using this way, this is also correct, this is also correct, this is also correct, this is also correct. So there is a four way you can declare the pointer. So this is all four method is correct. So any one you select and follow that one. And just now I said that the size of the pointer variable, either the pointer variable or either the normal variable, the data type, the data size, so data type, their size is decided on the basis of the processor. If it is your 64-bit processor, the size of the data type is 4 byte. The size of the pointer variable is same for every data type. So for pointer, one more thing is that for the especially for the pointer, the normal, if it is the normal variable, so integer data type size is depends on the processor. If it is 64 bit, if it is 64 bit, that their data type is 4 byte. Their data type is 4 byte, and for float also 4 byte, for character 1 byte, for double 8 byte. So if it is your processor is 64 bit, right? If it is your processor is 64 bit, then integer is 4 byte, float is 4 byte, double is 4 byte, double is 8 byte, and character is 1 byte. Do remember. Now what it is saying that if you are going to create a pointer, either integer you are creating, either float, either double, either character, all these will going to get, will get that 8 byte if your microprocessor is 64 bit. Here your all data type is getting same size. 64-bit processor always give you 8 byte for every data type. Either integer also 8 byte, float also 8 byte, even character also 8 byte, double also 8 byte. So for pointer case, for every pointer is getting 8 byte if your microprocessor is 64 bit. If your microprocessor is 32 bit, it means that all these pointer, either integer, float, double, everything will going to get that 4 byte only. So do remember, if it is question come in the interview that what is the size of the pointer and the microprocessor is 64 bit, then what will be the size of the pointer? And if it is 64 bit, then what is the size of the pointer? Either integer, either float, either string, all these going to get that 8 byte. See that I have taken one program and I have also executed here, and while executing, see that this is ptra is the integer pointer, and ptrb is the double pointer, and ptrc is that character pointer, and this is the array pointer. This ptr name is the array pointer. Even array pointer is also getting 8 byte only. Even array pointer is also going to get 8 byte if it is your microprocessor is 64 bit. If it is 32 bit, that will going to get that only 4 byte. Right? So here I have seen that I have printing the size of operator. There is a size of operator. Size of operator is nothing but it will tell you the size of a variable. It will tell you the size of a variable. So here I am printing that size of variable, integer double character. Integer double character. So look at that here, what it's giving that 8 byte only, right? And here what I have taken here, this is the normal variable. If it is, this is the normal variable, If you are going to print the normal variable, this is integer and a is the integer, b is the double, cs is the character. So what is that value? Integer 4 byte and double is 8 byte and character is 1 byte. Character is 1 byte, right? So all three is getting the 481, but pointer is giving what? All these 8 byte, right? Next one, what I have taken that? Next I have taken that array. Next I have taken that array. Even array is also giving the even array. This is the name. This is the pointer array. Pointer array is also giving the 8 byte only. This is also giving the 8 byte only, right? If it is your variable is pointer array pointer value variable, array pointer variable, that will also going to give you the data, sorry, size is 8 byte only, right? Remaining these things, remaining is this part I am going to explain in the next video. This is nothing but how to access that I am going to explain in the next video. So for now, just understand how it's printing the size, how the pointer size is decided, and how the normal variable size is decided. So now we'll see the initialization of the normal variable. So far we have learned the declaration and the size of the normal variable and the pointer value. Now we'll see the initialization. Initialization is nothing but you are going to initialize some value. You are going to initialize some value. So previously you have seen that int a we have written just we have written int a. We haven't given any value. We haven't given any value, means that we have just purchased the land and we haven't created any building. So just I have purchased the land, so we know that address and my land, right? So here is a previously I just declared, but now I'm going to also create the building. So I'm giving the value. So a equal to 10. So here 10 is going to store whatever the, while declaring that allocation, that space is already allocated. Now whatever the value are going to assign, that value is going to store at that place. Whatever the value you have given, that is going to store at that place, right? Similar like that, if it is b equal to 2.3, that is going to store at that place. C equal to a, that C's value is a, that a is going to allocate at that space, right? So this is the normal variable. This is the normal variable. Simply this is going to store there. Now coming to the pointer. Now coming to the pointer, what pointer is doing, that we'll see here. What pointer is doing here, what I have written, that p equal to address of a. This ampersand is nothing but a address. It's indicating that if you add ampersand before a variable, it means that it's saying that address of a. It means saying that address of a. So whatever the address of a, that is going to store in the p, because p is my pointer. P is my pointer and P is going to store address of A. And what is the address of A? It's a NCR. Address of A is NCR. So here NCR is going to store. Here NCR is going to store. And here I have written PT equal to address of B. So whatever the address of B is Old Delhi. So address of B is going to store here Old Delhi. Address of B is going to store here Old Delhi. Right? Now next is PTR1 equal to address of here C. I missed that. This is address of C. This is address of C. So whatever the address of C, that is going to store here. So what is the address? New Delhi. So New Delhi is going to store here. This is going to, New Delhi is going to store here. Right? Next is that, 1 minute. So this is New Delhi. Next is that P1. P1 is also my pointer, and that pointer type is, my P1 pointer type is double. Look at that. I have written this is the integer pointer. In previous, I have explained already previously. This is the integer, so this is also integer, and this is the float, and this is the character, and this is double. So do remember, this is integer, float, double, sorry, character and double. So this double is going to store what it will going to store? It will going to store Vijayawada. So here Vijayawada is going to store, because the address of the D is what? Vijayawada. So this is Vijayawada is going to store here. I am just writing DIG. Okay. So for you understood the initialization, declaration of a variable and how the pointer is storing the address. Now I will tell you some more important point, that too very much important, and this is also one type one marks question mostly asked in the technical round. So they will ask you that they will give you int I equal to 10, and they will ask you a star of p equal to address of I, and they will ask you is it correct declaration. Can you do that? So you can do it like that. You can separately, you can parallelly, you can see here what you are doing here. Here you are performing declaration as well as initialization. In a single line, in the single line you are declaring as well as initializing. Here you are writing a int ai equal to 10. This is called initialization and this is called declaration. This is called declaration and this is called initialization. So in a single line you are declaring also and performing initialization also. That you can do it. That's possible. Right? In pointer also, here this is the declaration part. This is the declaration part. And this is what? This is the initialization part. That's possible in the C language and that's correct. This is possible, right? Next one is that you can do it both in also single line. You are you are writing int. You are writing int. Na? That's also possible in one line. You can write int I equal to 10. You can write int I equal to 10 and star p equal to address of I. That you can do it in a single line. So here what you are doing, you are also performing a declaration and initialization, or also what you are doing also in the other variable is pointer variable, there also you are assigning the address of p. This is also correct. This is also correct, but this is not correct. Do remember what I am doing here. I am giving the address of I to p. P is my pointer. I am giving the address of it. Look at, tell me that if you don't purchase any land, how you know the address? How you know that? Here you are first you are assigning the address to P. Is it possible? If you don't purchase the land, how you know the address? Then how can you tell to other that this is my address? That's not possible. So for that reason, first you have to purchase the land, then only you got to know the address. Otherwise it's not possible. No? So this way is incorrect. This is incorrect. This is not the correct way of declaring and initializing. So do remember. Now one more point I am going to explain that is what, if it is your normal variable is that integer, your normal variable is integer, that variable address is only going to stored by integer pointer. If it is your this variable is int, this is int a, this int a, so this int a's address is only stored by integer pointer. If you want to store that integer variable in that float pointer, that will also give you error. That is not the correct way. If it is your variable is float, that float variable address is only going to store in the float pointer. The float variable address always stored by float pointer only. If you want to store in the integer pointer, it will give you error. So do remember what type of the variable address you want to store in the pointer, that only that pointer type is also the variable type. Do remember. So if I'll take the real life example, I'll say that if I'll purchase my land in Delhi, if I purchase my land in the Delhi, is it possible to give my address to the other state person? That's not possible. Means I will going to means in computer field only, just understand that that might be confusing. So better to understand in this computer field only. So whatever the type of the variable address you want to store in the pointer, the type of the pointer is also same, right? So integer variable address is going to store in the integer pointer only. Do remember that. That's very much important. Next, I have taken one small example. I have just taken one example here. So what I am doing here, I have taken one character variable. This is normal variable and this is the pointer variable. Here integer normal variable, here integer pointer. Here float normal variable, float pointer. Right? So what I am doing here what I am doing, if I am going to print address of C, if I am going to print address of C, what it will it going to print? Look at that here. If you declare or initialize the character, it will directly going to create the one space. It will allocate the space in the memory. It will allocate the space in the memory, and C character is the C character data type, and that value is a small h, not capital H, small h. So small h. And address of C, P is going to store P. This is another variable is P, that's pointer variable, and pointer variable is storing what? Address of C. So whatever the address, here I have taken the numerical value, and do remember in computer always address will be the hexadecimal, but here I have taken integer number. So it's a 400. So P is going to store what? P will going to store the address of C, and C's address is 400. So this 400 is going to store. If I am going to print address of C, it means that what will going to print? 400. It will going to print what? 400 it will going to print, because you are printing address of C. Right? One more thing is, do remember address is always going to print by percent sign U. You will not going to use here percent sign D, because character is printed by percent sign C, but in the pointer, for the pointer situation, whatever the type of the data type, that does not matter. It will always take percent sign U for printing the address. Right? Similar like here for the integer, here what I am doing, I am printing the star p. Star p, it means that it is going to print the value. It will going to print the value. This is nothing but the accessing part. So this I will make another video also for a small point. I'm just basic. I'm giving that the overview. I'm giving that. I'll make that a separate video for accessing. So do remember, if it is star p, if it is ampersand, means that address it will going to print, and if it is star is mentioned, it means that it will going to print the value. It will going to print the value. So here is what? Q equal to ampersand I. It means that Q is going to store address of what? I. So what is the address? 500. So P is containing, sorry, it's not a P, it's a Q. So Q, right? Here also Q. This is also Q. I did mistake. Not Q, this is R. This is R and this is R, right? So Q is just going to store address of the I, and that is 500. And if you want to print that, if you want to print the star Q, it will going to give that value, this value 265. This will going to print 265. This will going to print 265. Similar like here, you are also printing the star, and see here you are printing the value. That's the reason you are given percent sign D. Previously it was percent sign U, because you are printing the address. So here also you are printing the star R. So star R is what? 21.5. So 21.5 is going to print. This is the value. Just remember that is star and ampersand. That's all. This is the accessing. This just I have given overview. I'll make that separate video on it. Now I have prepared some question for you. Please do practice by yourself and comment me on this. What will you do that p equal to ampersand p, can you do that? Because I have just now said that if it is integer value address, if you want to store, that will be going to store in the integer pointer. So here what I am doing here, p is what here, sorry, this I'll make it that this make I'll make it that this p2, uh, yes, this will I'll make you that p2, right? Not better to do this, I'll change this one, so that will be the better p2, right? And this is p only, this is p only, right? So can you do a store, can you do a store p2 value in a p? Will it possible? That you have to please comment me, please do practice by yourself and comment me what is the answer for this. Will you do that or not? For this one also, will you do that or not? Please comment. Thank you for watching my video.